Hello, this is Marcus Heath Jones. I'm at City Hall. They doing a protest near the Career Link. This is JFK Boulevard. How you doing? Alright. Nothing much.
Cameraman.
The camera.
Check. Is that loud enough? Is that loud enough? Is that loud enough? Loud. Is that good? No feedback? Feedback. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
No.
Oh, you got to work in the camera.
Okay. All right.
No, I don't think so.
Take the corner right John, which one you want?
Testing.
There we go.
Morning. Thanks for coming out. We're here today at outside the Pennsylvania Career Lake. There we go. The Pennsylvania Career Lake, where a breakthrough has happened in the state of Pennsylvania for 20 years. You can't get anybody to talk to you in person in the state of Pennsylvania for finally, because the system, really a system that doesn't work, they're now allowing people to gotta verify their identification to come to the career links. So that's why we're here. We want people to know that you are available, that they are available to get help. Unfortunately, we got large numbers of people that cannot verify their identification. Even though they have identification, we've got a system that is unwieldy, unworkable, and even if you get it through, very often the state of Pennsylvania does not acknowledge that what you've done. So we're here today to let people know about that, but we're also here today to remind the public and our elected officials that unemployment did not go away when the benefits stopped in September. And even when they went away, we have over 100,000 people waiting to get their benefits determined. And many, many thousands have had their benefits stopped illegally, without notice, without any due process. The state of Pennsylvania, we've been negotiating with them. They told us that they would provide benefits for all those people that had their checks stopped illegally. Unfortunately, in our database, 2/3 of the people that contacted PUP to find out how to get their checks turned out that their benefits were stopped illegally. 2/3 of them have still not had their benefits turned on, even after the state has promised that they would take care of that problem. And lastly, these career links, Career Link here, we think they've been doing a good job. We've got career links all over the state that don't even know that this exists, that there's such a program. And people call them up, and what they get is told, we don't do that. We don't know what you're talking about. We don't help people. So we need people helped. And we need to remind that our brothers and sisters and our neighbors across the state are doing without income for many, many months in many cases. And I'd like to bring up one right now, a young lady, Letitia Jackson, who's been trying to get unemployment for many, many weeks. Letitia, you want to tell the story?
Hey, Letitia!
My name is John Dodds. I'm the director of the Philadelphia Unemployment Project. DODDS.
Hi, my name is Letitia Jackson, and I applied for these benefits, which I never received. It's very frustrating. It's been way over a year.
Nice to see
that
you.
I was
Yeah, nice to see you too.
last month, way over a year. And this has been the worst experience of my life, depending on benefits. And it's just very frustrating.
Letitia is one of thousands of people. Like I say, right now there's 99,850 people waiting to have their eligibility determined. One of the big problems right now is they've got to verify their identification. It's a complicated system. A lot of people don't have the technology to do it on the computer. And they can't even apply if they have not gotten their identification verified. And that is a big problem. All right, but next I'd like to bring up a member of the clergy. This is a moral issue that's happening to families in our state. There's just too many people suffering. And I'd like Reverend Robert Kuhn from the First United Methodist Church in Germantown to say a few words. Reverend Kuhn.
Yay! All right, Bob.
It's one thing to say what you're going to do and pass legislation to do it, but it's another thing to pave the way for how it's to be done. The state is holding millions of dollars that were intended for people who are unemployed. They made it so difficult with their applications for people to fill out the forms for unemployment. And there's no path, there's no organization that's created a path to reach all the unemployed in Pennsylvania. The ones who need the money the most are the ones that we take it out the most on by not creating a way for them to receive the benefits that we're promising them. So I just urge that all the people in the state, House of Assembly and senators and the governor to find a way immediately. We can't wait longer. This is an urgent matter. People are hungry. People have been waiting months and months for their unemployment check. And when we pass unemployment, that's a promise to offer funds that are necessary to live to people who are not employed. We're just asking to be the voice today of those whose voices aren't being heard, and hope that our voices are being heard to find a way immediately to get the unemployment funds that we promised the unemployed to them. It's a moral issue. it's an issue about human life and dignity. It's an issue about community and promises made. They're part of our communities. We need to advocate on their behalf and to pave a way. Talk about reconstruction. We talk infrastructure. We need to create that infrastructure now about how the money that was passed for the unemployed get to the unemployed. No excuses, but let's look for a plan and get that done immediately.
Sorry, boss.
Where's our money? Yeah, where's our money, right?
Where's our money?
That's okay, yeah.
Where's our money? Oh, that's federal funds too. I mean, they're sitting on people's money, hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions of dollars. All right, our next speaker is from the Philadelphia AFL-CIO. The labor movement supports all working people, and even when they're unemployed and not working. And I'd like to bring up Natalie Sawinski. Natalie.
Thank you, John. Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie Sawinski. I'm with the Philadelphia Council AFL-CIO as their Community Engagement Coordinator. I'm also the Executive Director of our new community labor nonprofit, Working Families Partnership. And I'm here to say that labor supports this because it is a shame. It is shameful that people are behind on receiving their benefits for months, even in some cases before the pandemic. When claims aren't released, people get behind on bills and the fees accrue, late fees accrue. You overdraft on your credit cards. Some people are in fear of being evicted, foreclosed upon, and this is absolutely shameful. We have the ability to release these claims and release these cases, and we need to do this. We have a moral and ethical obligation to release these claims and pay our benefits. Pay benefits now!
Benefits now! Benefits now! Benefits now!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right, Natalie, thank you for that. One thing I think it's interesting, right now there's almost 99,500 people waiting for their benefits. You know how many people are actually eligible and collecting benefits? 71,000. So there's way more people who are sitting out here waiting to get paid than are actually collecting unemployment compensation. Many people have gone out of work. Hundreds of thousands had their benefits cut off on September the 4th, and yet the system still cannot provide benefits to people that need it. A lot of people have gone back to work, but they're still waiting for months and months of benefits. They're in the hole, they're deep in the hole. They're lucky they didn't get evicted because there's been moratoriums on evictions. Those moratoriums are ending. People need their back money. We need to have those benefits provided. 70%, 69% to be exact, of the people that contacted our organization who had their benefits stopped illegally have not had them turned back on, despite the commitment of the Secretary of Labor to get those people restored. We want those benefits restored. We want them restored now. These are people that were eligible. They were stopped. They were not given due process. The Supreme Court has made it very plain that it's illegal for those benefits to be stopped. The state has acknowledged that's the case, and yet people still don't have their money. 70% of the people contacted us in that category still do not have their money. All right. It is a shame. All right. I'd like to bring up one of our board members here at PUP. He's a long-time consumer advocate for the city, for people, informally and formally for the city of Philadelphia. And I'd like to bring up now Lance Haver. Lance.
Thank you. As John said, I worked for over 40 years as a consumer advocate. If a used car dealer did what the state unemployment compensation program has done, they'd be prosecuted, they would lose their car lot, and they would be put in jail. If a door-to-door salesman did what the state has done with ID, they would be prosecuted, put in jail, and definitely lose the contract. There is actually no excuse for the state turning its back on its most vulnerable. It's unemployed, the people who are waiting literally months to get their benefits. This is something that affects the state of Pennsylvania, that affects people. And what is really shocking is we have an attorney general who has turned his back on this illegal activity. On the illegal activity of the state, the attorney general refuses to prosecute. We have a governor who is refusing to say anything about the system failing. We have a lieutenant governor who's so busy running for higher office, who's so busy sending me emails every day telling me I have to give him money, that he can't come down and talk to the unemployed about the fact that his system, the state of Pennsylvania's system, has failed miserably. Here is what we're faced with. We are faced with a system that has failed us. We are faced with a contract that was given, a sweetheart contract that was given to a multi-million-dollar company that doesn't give a damn about the fact that it's not. Here is what we are faced with. A system that has left 100,000 people without benefits that they have earned, that they have paid for, and they deserve. This is something that we face. I want to end with this. If it were not for PUP, if we're not for all of you, and I'm going to look around for a second because I don't think this gets said enough. If it were not for the PUP members, the people who are out every day on the street leading the fight, no one would hear the unemployed. No one would hear the people who are suffering. No one would know what's going on. So I know sometimes it's hard to come out. The weather's not great. Sometimes the system doesn't listen to us and we don't win the victories we should win. But the truth is, without PUP members being here, without us raising our voice, without us continuing the fight, there is no hope of a victory. And while it may seem like it's an uphill fight, those uphill fights are often won, and they're often won by people who start with a group as small as we're starting with today. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Okay. Thank you, Lance. All right, so where's the money? We've been asking that. I mean, the crime is this has been the same question since March of 2020. They have not found a way to make the system work to get people their benefits, and that is a crime. And something that we're going to get done. We're going to get people their money. We're working real hard to get people their money. We're going to make sure these career links do their job so people can identify their, verify their identity. And we're going to make sure that this state pays every last penny that's owed. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, and we're going to keep on this until everybody gets their money. So thank you all.
I'm sure I will. No, thank you. But I don't recognize that. My wife is jealous. I wake up with you instead of her. She sleeps in.
What a fighter. Danny, I'll grab it. We're going to do some water. We're going to see what a guy there,
Really, strong unemployment compensation program. Pandemic, we had tens, hundreds of thousands of people are not getting those benefits, and it's really something that's got to stop.
Back to work.
Are you frozen? I'm pretty good.
I didn't shake it like a frog.
Because it's emotional.
It's all computerized. They're trying to take the human element out. There's no way anybody can talk to anybody in the system. The phones are never answered. And there's a problem. Anybody makes any kind of mistake, gets tied up for weeks and months. You know, but they should be working harder to make it work, and particularly this whole population that have their benefits stopped illegally under a Supreme Court decision with no due process. Those benefits have to be paid out. The state is committed to do that. Yeah, we've got 2/3 of the people who contacted us in that situation still haven't got their money. And, you don't. Thank God for the moratoriums of foreclosure convictions. We have many more homeless, and unfortunately, those moratoriums are ending. Some people are still waiting for 30 weeks. They're behind. They're behind. And we want those benefits It's a government. The government is responsible for this system, and we think that a lot of states, what they've done, they've got over 100,000 people waiting to get benefits. Several states, when they got in that problem, they just paid the benefits to people once a down payment, and then get them back through overpayments if necessary. But the vast majority of those people just need money, and the only reason they're not getting it is because the bureaucracy can't our system is designed to work. We like to pay those benefits now so people can live. If they're up to the local payment, like I said earlier, repay. All of us are old people. To us, that's a minimum standard.
Give us our money and let those kids go through that. They got no endurance with us. They got it. They targeted us. Now, I did get my money. That's why I wish I could talk. I was sitting in the car.
Okay, let me know what you adjusted. Oh, you got sitting in the car. Okay, yeah, let me call them. Excuse me.
And I get laid off today or tomorrow. I'm going through this IDB, and you can't even find me, and me, Ryan, we went down in the system. They passed us through, and they still can't find me. Y'all system. All right, so we're gonna work on it, okay?
Yeah, the next thing you need us to help with, let me know.
You are Justin Woodall. I see you guys. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you,
denied illegally without any due process. We're still waiting to get their.
You got to work today? That's fine, yeah. What time you got to be there? 2? Wow.
It's committed to pay those people's benefits.
Yeah. No, you're going to be okay.
That's why we're here to let people know there's still a problem in the state. I'm just saying it's after the they kind of taking their finally find some way for the bureaucracy to make a determination. Anybody and their benefits stopped. And the last thing is to make sure that the outreach where people can go to actually talk to somebody face to face, that they are willing to verify identity. A lot of people are not able to use the phones with their identity. Their pictures. It's easy if you're younger or older. People are not doing that well. Let's go to make it work. Now you can go to the clinic and somebody will help you to get identified. That's very important. You got to make sure we do. Some of them don't have
Thank you so much for your time and information. Thank you.
still got 5 more hours to go.
Yeah, but you
Go down here. Wait till the rest of the
You got it all film?
Yeah. Oh, I asked you a question, yeah. You mind I have you on YouTube?
What now?
I said, do you mind I have you on YouTube?
Nah,
you don't mind?
that'd be great.
Oh, okay.
That's good. Put us up.
All right, thank you.
Put us up there.
Yeah. All right.
maybe some different people working in that stuff, you know? Yeah.
All right. The event is over. It's time for me to end this video. I hope you please subscribe, and I hope thumbs up. And we gotta get the word spread about our benefits. See, that also put an effect on real estate. That people had to pay their rent. It put a pretty effect on housing, period. People had to pay their rent. And see, that's what that's for, for this event for. I hope you, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.